This is the best free hit team for Game Week 4. Welcome to FPL Mate, my name is Dan. Today we have built a perfect free hit team that I think you guys are going to love for Game Week 4. Anyone on a free hit is going to definitely take something away from this video, and even if you're not, maybe you can get an idea on some of the best players for Game Week 4, as well as maybe trying to convince some people that maybe this is the Week 2 free hit, guys. So this team costs 99.6 million, so pretty cheap. Most people will be able to afford it. There are also some ways to make this team a little bit cheaper as well, or indeed more expensive. So let's go through this team, guys, and we're going to start off in goal with David Raya. Now, I thought the best way to choose a goalkeeper for 1 week only is really to look at the clean sheet odds. Which team has the best chance of a clean sheet? Because with goalkeepers, we don't need to worry about defensive contributions. We don't need to worry about attacking returns. Really, primarily, we're looking for clean sheets. We're looking for maybe potential save points. We're maybe looking for bonus points. So it does help to play against teams that you don't expect to score many goals, but maybe have a couple of chances. So this brings us to Nottingham Forest. This game should be fairly low scoring, I think, and we're looking at Arsenal, probably considered the best defense in the Premier League, and this is a very nice home fixture for them. Raya has been very good so far this season, already picking up some save points and bonus points, which is quite nice indeed, and I don't think we need to mess around too much. I think Raya is the standout Arsenal defensive asset to have in general in FPL right now. I'd include him in a wildcard team, and we include him in this free hit team. Let's go into the defense, guys, and we are going to double up actually on the Crystal Palace defense. We've gone for Munoz and Lacroix. I think these are the two standout Crystal Palace defenders. Of course, if you're looking for someone a bit cheaper, Chris Richards works pretty well instead of Lacroix. But I think with Munoz and Lacroix, you get a balance of two things. You get the amazing attacking potential of Munoz, particularly with Sarr out injured, no Eze now. Munoz is going to be very important as part of the attacking build-up for Crystal Palace. Going against Sunderland at home, it's a very nice fixture indeed for a team that has been defensively solid so far this season. So Munoz is going to give you some attacking potential. We are already seeing so far this season that he is putting up some of the best attacking numbers among all defenders right now. So definitely a recommended player to go for. Generally, I think in FPL, 0.8 expected assists so far, which is pretty nice. Not so good on the XG, but I think that will improve if we look at previous seasons. Lacroix has been a defensive contribution monster. He's already made 37 defensive contributions so far this season. Remember, you only need 12 per game for a midfielder, but only 10 per game for a defender. So that is really, really strong, really positive. He's also got an assist so far this season, and we have seen for Crystal Palace, there is a bit of attacking threat from Lacroix, from those set pieces, a bit of a target man for the club. So again, against Sunderland, a new team to the Premier League, at home in particular, I think a clean sheet is very likely for Crystal Palace, and I think both of these players have DEFCON potentials, particularly Lacroix, and that attacking potential, mostly from Munoz, but also from Lacroix as well. So why not splash out on the double Crystal Palace defense if you are on a free hit right now? And you know what? If you're on a wild card or just making transfers, I don't hate it either. Now, the final defender is a little bit more debatable. Now, there was a little bit of money left in the bank when I was building this team, so I decided to go for Cucurella at 6.1 million, and I don't think he is essential in this team. I think there's definitely some actually cheaper defenders that could do just as well. We're going to talk about one of them when we come to the bench, who I think is probably just as good as Cucurella for Game Week 4. But if you're looking for some attacking potential, again, if you're looking 1 game week only, you're not looking for the long-term kind of rewards of picking DEFCON players, and you're looking for that, you know, high potential in an individual game week kind of player, Cucurella, who, by the way, scored for Spain during the international break, is definitely going to be the kind of guy you might like. A little bit of attacking potential, as we know, 0.12 XG, 0.45 XA so far, so that's expected assists. So he's definitely one of the more attacking defenders at our disposal in FPL right now. And Chelsea, you know, somehow have been keeping clean sheets. I don't think Brentford have looked too hot so far this season. Maybe got a little fortunate with the goals they have scored so far, because they do look set up primarily to defend here, actually. So I do like Cucurella from open play for a Chelsea pick. But again, he's not the only defender. He is the most debatable player perhaps in this defense. But the midfield is where things get a little bit more spicy. And by the way, guys, if you are enjoying this video or finding it useful, make sure you do drop a like. Massively does help out the channel. And do feel free to subscribe. We've got plenty of videos coming up in the build up towards Game Week 4 that I'm sure you guys are not going to want to miss. But let's put Mo Salah in here first of all. And I know he has come under some criticism from the FPL world recently. He's not been playing particularly well, but it does need to be noted that so far this season, he's played against Bournemouth, he's played against Newcastle, he's played against Arsenal. Now, Bournemouth, Newcastle, maybe they're not considered great defenses, but actually so far this season, they've very much proven that they are. Newcastle have put up some incredible defensive numbers, the best in the Premier League so far, and Bournemouth have been a real surprise package defensively as well. Really, really strong there. And despite these two tough defensive fixtures, Salah has scored in both of those games. And I'm not sure what people were expecting against Arsenal. Arsenal, you know, the strongest defense in the league. We have to kind of, I think, maybe put into context Salah and his underperformances, because it has been a case of some really tough defenses, and things can change very quickly. And despite all of that, Salah has been getting FPL points. He has. And I think this is what we come back to all of the time, really, with Salah. Multiple times we've had this conversation. Salah is playing too wide. He doesn't suit the system anymore. And he still ends up getting a crazy amount of FPL points. People were having the same discussion at the start, kind of before the end well, before the start of last season, maybe towards the end of the season before. People were saying, yeah, Salah's past it. It's not going to happen. And he just does it anyway. Liverpool only need a penalty. Salah's suddenly on 10 points. You know, he has that brace potential. If he scores in open play or assists in open play, then you get a penalty. Then you're getting loads of points. And against Burnley, who have been probably the worst defense in the Premier League so far this season, I think there's definitely a huge amount of potential, because Burnley are shipping so many chances. They really are. And this could be the game where Salah turns it on, does some flat track bullying, because previously the fixtures have been tough. Burnley is the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of that fixture difficulty. So much so that I would want to double up on the Liverpool midfield. For a short-term punt, I really like Cody Gakpo against Burnley. I think this is well worth going for on a free hit. If you're looking to make transfers, maybe not as keen, because we're not sure how Liverpool are going to set up going into the future. Are we going to see Gakpo drop out, Ekitike drop out? Could one of the midfielders drop out? Maybe even Florian Wirtz is in some danger for some games, because there is a plethora of attacking options for Liverpool. You know, if Frimpong and Bradley are back to playing right back, Szoboszlai needs to play somewhere as well. So things are going to get very, very messy in the Liverpool attack very, very soon. But for this week only, I think you're still safe to go with Cody Gakpo. And that's why I think Gakpo is a phenomenal free hit pick and a real opportunity for free hitters to go here, despite, you know, maybe not being a real strong long-term option. But Gakpo's done well so far. He has got a goal and 2 assists, and the data is not amazing, but he has taken 6 shots, 6 key passes. So he's making kind of 2 creative actions, 2 shooting actions each game so far in difficult fixtures. Could turn it on against Burnley, where he is expected to start. Semenyo is going to be our next player. He has been a real standout player, an absolute shooting monster. 10 shots so far with 5 big chances. No midfielder is doing better than that. And Brighton are a team where you never know what's going to turn up. And if Semenyo continues to take as many shots as he has been doing, making a few key passes as well, he's made 5 so far this season, then you're going to get opportunities. And I don't think there's much debate about the fact that Semenyo right now, certainly in the short term, looks like a really nice pick. So on a free hit, you are looking for those short-term guys. He does the business for you. And this is probably my controversial midfielder, and I'm going to go for Iliman Ndiaye. I know some people do prefer Grealish. For me, I do prefer Ndiaye, because whilst Grealish is really good for the creativity, Ndiaye is the goal-scoring man. He is the one who is getting on the end of the crosses, of the passes at that far post and knocking the ball into the back of the net. In addition to that, we do have penalties for Ndiaye, and I think with players like Grealish at Everton, there is going to be a few more penalties, one for Everton, and Ndiaye again will be the man to convert them. So I think the points potential is a little higher with Ndiaye. Maybe Grealish will be more consistent with assists, but Grealish has never really been a goal scoring player, and Ndiaye is pure goal scoring, not really too much creativity there. So Definitely, if we're looking for points potential, that ceiling, I think Njai definitely has it over Grealish. And maybe that hasn't been proven so far in the Premier League, but I think it can happen very, very soon. And Njai will start to kind of match or beat Grealish at that slightly higher price tag. Let's move into the... Well, actually, before we go into the forward position, I should say on the fixture against Aston Villa at home for Njai, Aston Villa have been pretty bad so far this season. They are conceding chances. I don't know if they will have got themselves sorted and together by game week 4. But, you know, if we're talking about short-term striking whilst the iron is hot, well, the iron is very, very cold in Aston Villa's case. So this could be the perfect opportunity to target Aston Villa whilst they wait to kind of get their stuff together, which they will eventually. So now is kind of an opportunity there. And Everton, they're a real attacking team right now, surprisingly. But there we go. Anyway, forwards. So triple Liverpool attack. Ekitike. No doubt in my mind that Ekitike would make a free hit team for me. No doubt whatsoever. I think he is one of the first players on my team sheet here. Against Burnley away again, of course. But here's the thing. Isak is going to come into this Liverpool team eventually. It is not going to happen yet. The Sweden manager has already said, you know, Isak is just not ready to play, you know, top level football right now. He has had just a couple of training sessions all summer. He is nowhere near ready. It's going to take some time for Isak to get minutes in the Premier League. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised to see him not even come off the bench for Liverpool. He probably will, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't happen. So Ekitike's minutes look really strong in game week 4, and I would even argue that they look strong in game week 5 as well. So again, if we're looking for short-term picks, the advantage of going for a free hit is you don't have to think about the repercussions of Isak later down the line. You can just pick for now, and Ekitike has been Liverpool's standout attacking player so far in the Premier League. He has got the, of course, the 2 goals and an assist. Pretty nice there. 4 shots in the box, 2 big chances, 1.35 XG. And again, this is in tough fixtures. So against a much easier opponent, Ekitike could explode in this game, you know, potential captain option even. Really, really like this pick. And, you know, like I say, would be one of the first players on my team sheet if I was on a free hit right now, because you can play that short-term game, which is one of the big advantages. You know, use the advantages you have from having played your free hit. Use that. Take those opportunities. And we've got Joao Pedro as the next forward here against Brentford. I think he's just been so consistent so far this season. 8 shots, 6 in the box with 2 big chances, 2 goals scored, and a couple of assists as well under his belt. Real hot run of form for him. So it makes a lot of sense to just continue that. I think if Joao Pedro does well and you don't have him in your free hit team, you will suffer because he is owned by such a large percentage of the FPL player base. Now, as I say, I don't think Brentford have been too good so far this season. And our final forward is going to be Mateta. I think this is just about targeting the fixture because, in all honesty, Mateta hasn't done amazingly so far. Obviously, he has penalties, and he did score his penalty last week. But it's a home game against Sunderland. Really nice to target this fixture here, and we know that Mateta, going through, you know, historically, has been a player who has been able to be that flat track bully, get a whole bunch of points against some of the weaker opponents, and really, really dominate in those games. So I think that could definitely happen again in a game like this. I think a game against Sunderland is a fixture that kind of does suit him stylistically. So all in all, I think it makes a lot of sense to go for Mateta on a free hit team. And to be honest, guys, I'm not on a free hit, but I would be picking Mateta anyway. He is probably my #1 transfer target right now, who I am looking to buy for this game week. But let's go to the bench, guys. We have got just Dubravka as a 4 million goalkeeper. I don't think we want to spend money on a backup goalkeeper. Really, on a free hit, we want to prioritize that starting 11. But if you do have a bit of budget left over and you just want that insurance policy, then maybe you could pick a 4.5 million goalkeeper here. Maybe Petrovic, someone like that. We've got Dewsbury Hall, again, an insurance policy for a midfielder, but nice and cheap, so you're not breaking the bank. But actually, it's Anderson at Fulham, who I would arguably say you could start in this game. I know he is second on the bench on this graphic, but you could easily play Anderson instead of Cucurella. You could even play a 4-3-3 formation, potentially drop and Jai and play Anderson there, because Leeds have really struggled to score so far this season. They have the lowest non-penalty XG in the entire Premier League in the opening 3 games, so they are struggling for attack. And Anderson, not only is he, you know, good for clean sheets against a very weak opponent, and I do think Fulham are an underrated defense, but also very good for defensive contributions, and so far has shown a little bit of attacking potential as well from those set pieces. So yeah, I really do like Anderson. I think he definitely needs to be considered for a free hit team, and I think, you know, he's one of those players I'd want to own in Game Week 4. He really is. So yeah, maybe he could be played, guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think the 4.5 million man is worth playing ahead of the 6.1 million Cucurella? Genuinely could be. And our final defender on the bench, 4 million Alderete, looks like a good Sunderland defender for defensive contributions potentially there. So that's why he's found himself in that team as a backup of the backup. You're probably not going to need this player, to be honest, but he is there just in case things go terribly, terribly wrong somehow. And yeah, that is definitely something that could happen. In terms of the captain for this team, I am going to go for Mo Salah as the captain. I think maybe that is maybe the boring, sensible answer, but we're going to put the vice captain on Ekitike because genuinely, I think Ekitike could do super, super well in Game Week 4. He's probably the player I have the most confidence in Game Week 4, and I'm terrified to not own him in Game Week 4. So you really could captain Ekitike this week if you wanted to try something a little bit different, play against the crowd a little bit. But I think Salah, if you're looking for that sensible, safe, secure captain, go with the crowd, then he is definitely the guy to go for. And I try to make sure we give different opinions on this video, or all the videos really. What is the sensible thing to do? What is the slightly more out there thing to do? And I think Salah, as a safe, standard, secure captain, is the guy. If you want to, I don't know, stir the pot a little bit, Ekitike would be the man to go for. I'm sure you guys have some other suggestions, maybe Gakpo, Mateta, or, you know, even a Munoz. Like, Munoz captain, it was super risky, but you know the ceiling, the points ceiling is very much there. So maybe, but maybe not for me. So yes, this is going to be your Game Week 4 free hit team. I really like the look of this. I am jealous of anyone who is able to field a team anything like this really in Game Week 4. And I think you guys are going to smash it if you go for something a little bit like this. But do let me know what you think about it. Would there be any changes you would make? Have I missed out on any key players? Or do you think I've got anything desperately, desperately wrong? I'm sure there'll be a few people saying, Dan, I can't believe you're picking Njai over Grealish or maybe Enzo, but hey, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about those players in tomorrow's buy, sell, keep, avoid video. But guys, speaking of chips, make sure you do check out my chip strategy video, which will tell you all of the best weeks to use all of your chips. If you did enjoy, drop a like, do subscribe, and we'll be back tomorrow, like I say, for buy, sell, keep, avoid. See you later, mates. Bye-bye.